Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Andromeda. This is the British Commonwealth and Free France, turn 8. I don't think that we have any housekeeping that hasn't already been taken care of. So we're just going to hop into the British turn. We have one tech roll, and we're going to roll for radar again. Try to get to stage 3. And we're going to succeed on that attempt. So radar is now at stage 3 for the Commonwealth. We're going to go to our buys. We have $18, and this is a buy that I don't like doing, but kind of just got to do it at this point in the game. And we're going to be spending all $18 on 9 militia. So it's going to clear out GB's bank. FEC is going to spend $4 on an anti-aircraft artillery and $4 on a Gurkha. They're going to save 1. And then Anzac, after that amazing defense in South Island, is going to be buying another militia to put there to see if we can't get a repeat of that. That's going to take them down to 0. Alright. So, for combat movements, our planes are going to go on map to try to take out some subs. So that's going to be our fighter, an A-27. It's going to go on map an A-20 against that coastal sub. And then our seaplane from Gibraltar is going to come 1-2 on map and take a shot at these coastal subs in M4. Our infantry in southern Italy is going to hop on this transport, which is going to come down to M2. And then he's going to amphibiously assault Sicily and take that over for Great Britain. Our infantry in Tripolitania is going to come into Cyrenaica. It's going to be joined by the medium bomber on Malta, as well as the tactical bomber from Lower Egypt. 2 of our heavy cruisers that are in M4, as well as our light cruiser from Anzac, are going to move 1, 2, 3 into I4. The Japanese have elected not to have their sub take a shot at their ships with the destroyer here as well. And then all 4 of these ships are going to move that last movement point into I7. They're going to be attacking the Japanese battlecruiser and 2 transports here. And Japan has elected not to scramble their heavy cruisers that are in port in Maharashtra. So that'll just be these 4 units against the battlecruiser, basically. FEC, with the exception of the artillery, is going to move into Burma and liberate that. And then I think that has actually got all of the combat moves that we're going to be doing. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I am, because we have this coastal sub that's going to come down into P-34 and is going to raid here. So I'm going to go ahead and roll those dice before I forget that again. So we will be the yellow die for this, and we'll be rolling at a +1. Since I don't think the Japanese have radar. I'll double check that after this. Not that it matters anyway, because that's a grand total of 0 damage regardless. Alright, so yeah, I think that's going to be that. So we can just go into rolling for some of these things. We'll start up here with this FEC fighter against this German coastal sub. Actually, let me see if I want to pair my destroyer with this. If I move all these guys in here, all this is still protected. I could move up here to raid. My seaplane would still be able to fight it. Yeah, you know, I think I am actually gonna pick up my destroyer with this and move these guys up here in the combat phase. Alright, so we have, although we won't move the light carrier in the combat phase. Because, well, I guess we have to though. If we're gonna move everything here. Not actually sure. I don't have to have the landing spot there. We'll see what happens. It might not matter. But if the light carrier doesn't have to move, then the light carrier isn't moving during the combat phase. It would just be other ships. So anyway, we have a fighter at 6, a destroyer at 4 here. So fighter in teal, destroyer in gold. It's going to be misses. So we'll have the coastal sub fire back at us at a 2. And misses as well. Alright. So the fire will then just land on the light carrier there. All this will be here. For our seaplane attacking the coastal subs, we just get a die at 3 in teal. And that misses as well. So, British don't kill any subs this turn. Unfortunate. But oh well. We'll move on to this battle. And we will have our 2 heavy cruisers in green. We'll have our light cruiser in this blue color. We'll have our destroyer be in orange. So these are 6s, this is a 5, this is a 4. And those are hits. So the battle cruiser is dead. And then the transport, one of the transports is dead. The battle cruiser fires back at a 7. And it hits. So that's going to be, let's see, how many subs are in range here? So just, let's see, got 2 subs in range. Alright, so we will lose we'll lose the light cruiser and keep the destroyer. And then that transport dies as well. So rolled that. Sarnica we have left. Alright, so we'll have 2 bombers at 7, along with an infantry at 1. We'll just roll the bombers. That's going to be a hit with our bomber, so now we will roll the defending infantry back at a 4. And it hits. So our infantry will be dead, the Italian infantry will be dead, and Sarnica will stay in the Italians' hands. Alright, that does leave us into non-combat moves. So we are going to have our fleet in M1 is going to move into M2 with the exception of the light carrier and 2 heavy cruisers. So the light carrier and 2 heavy cruisers, oops, there we go, are going to go 1, 2, 3 into M8, and they are going to go into port in Lower Egypt. This needs to be bigger. So 2 heavy cruisers and a light cruiser, carrier rather. Our transport moved for that. So these 2 transports here are going to pick up the Marine, the AA, and the infantry from Tripoli, and they're going to move into M8 and go in port. So we're going to have 2 transports in port in Lower Egypt as well, and then the AA, the Marine, and the infantry are going to be in Lower Egypt. And we're going to put the Western Egypt infantry into Lower Egypt as well. Our attack bomber and our medium bomber are going to go land in Lower Egypt. Our fighter is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in Lower Egypt as well. And then the torpedo boat destroyer in M4 is going to move up into M6. And then the battleship is going to move over into the first fleet in M2. Our seaplane is going to go back to Gibraltar. I'm not going to do any movements up here, non-combat moves. I think, let's see, the artillery that we left behind in Bengal is going to move into Calcutta, and the infantry from Delhi is going to move back into Benares. And then I think that's got all of our non-combat moves taken care of, so we can place our buys. FEC is going to be building the AAA into Calcutta and the Gurkha into Bengal. Anzac's going to be putting the militia into South Island. And then we have all of our militia that Great Britain is building. So we're going to put one into the Gold Coast, one into Cape Town. I'll come up here. I'm going to put one into Southern Italy and one into Sardinia. And the other 5 are going to come up here, and we're going to put 3 into Southern England, and we're going to put 2 into London. Alright, and so that'll be the British buys. So Great Britain is going to collect 27 plus 3 and have $30. FEC collects 8 and we'll have $9, and then Anzac collects 1 and we'll have a single $1. So that'll be the British Commonwealth turn, with the exception that we do control Iran now, and we get a recruitment roll at a 1. So we just copy this over here. And so that misses. And then, our Anzac transport, we are going to move 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put that into port in Calcutta. Alright, I think that's got the British moves completed. We will now go into the Free France turn. Free France is going to buy anything. It has $2, and we'll continue to have $2, or we'll collect $2 at the end. So we're going to have 4. Free France, the ships that were in M4 are going to join the rest of the British ships in M2. So that's the battleship, the light cruiser, destroyer, and torpedo boat destroyer. The French medium bomber is going to go on map into A44 and try to kill one of those subs, and then the French fighter is going to fly to Sardinia and will be staying there. Oh, and the British sub was going to come over, and it's going to join the fleet in M2 as well. Glad I saw that. Okay. So yeah, that's really the only thing that the French are doing. Let me see if I want to do anything with the French sub, actually. 1, 2, 3. The French sub very well might decide it wants to go. I'm going to stick the French sub into I7, I think. Give us the opportunity to maybe protect those ships a little bit or something. We'll see. Alright, so yeah, we can just roll this bomber. We got 1d12 that hits at a 7 or less. And that is a hit. I'm assuming it's going to be an Italian sub that gets sunk. I'll go ahead and delete it for the purposes of this. But I'll let him know in case he wants to make it a German sub that gets sunk instead. So yeah, that medium bomber is going to come off a map and land in Gibraltar. And we already moved the French ships and the French fighter. So we already collected income there. So that'll be the turn there. And we will pass it over to the Electron. Or not the Electron. I'm getting my games mixed up. Sorry about that. We'll pass it over to Elite Golden for Italy, turn 8.